Hey guys, you got both the Cowsers here today, 2 for the price of 1, and we are talking finances. Before you click off and you think this doesn't apply to you,
it does.
It does. Number 1 reason people get divorced in our country?
Finances.
One of the hugest reasons for stress, anxiety, depression.
Finances.
One of the number 1 causes for suicide, especially in adults.
Finances.
So future-proof your future relationships. Get yourself a little lesson here. Stick around. It's going to be good.
So why are finances so hard? Why do so many Americans and people around the world struggle with their finances? I think that we are set up to fail really in our society. We're bombarded with marketing messages and media messages telling us that we need more and more and more, that we need to keep up with the Joneses, keep up with our neighbors, and that our success is somehow tied to our possessions.
So what do? And why are we even talking about this? Normally we talk about relationships or self-help or how to become your best self, but this is such a huge part of your life and ours, and we wanted to share this with you. Sidebar, if you want to hear more videos like this, throw some notes in the comments. Guys, this channel exists for you. If you're new, you stumbled in here, you hit the recommended click link in your feed. Welcome. This channel exists to make you your best self. Scroll back, check out some other videos, and make sure you hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications. It's always amazing how many people don't even know when a new video comes out.
Awesome. So
wait, sorry, stop, freeze frame. We are like days away from having a baby. By the time this airs, we might even have a baby. Who knows? If you want to find out, follow us on social media. It's down below. But Megan, show them what she's 9 months pregnant here, and she's doing this video for you guys. You're not even gonna give him a belly shot. We got a baby boy in the oven right here. And so why are we talking about this?
Well, let's give a little background, a little bit about our story. So first of all, we've been married for 12 years. We got married while we were in college, and so we had very, very little money. We
were stupid poor.
Yes. We had a couple of goals, even with no money. And our 2 goals starting out were to stay away from debt. Second was to continue to be generous with the money that we did have.
I think people often make the mistake in thinking, when I do get money, then I'll be generous. Or when I do get money, then I'll line all these things up. But the decisions we make now build our future self and our future habits. Mm-hmm. And so we started from the bottom, really working in making diligent and prudent choices, in saying no to ourselves. I know that's a weird phenomenon in our country, in our culture, saying no to what we wanted in the moment so that we could set ourselves up for greater success in the future.
Mm-hmm. And so as our marriage and lives progressed, we graduated, we eventually got jobs. It took a couple of years, so a couple more years of just super...
Dirtbags. We were dirtbags.
Yeah, living in like really nasty apartments, but that were super cheap. And if there's like a free meal at an event, we're there.
We were there. We were also super scrappy with how we earned money. We got jobs on the side when we were student teaching, working games. We did garage sales. We sold things. We would sell things on eBay. I started a photography business. We really tried to find ways to make money rather than just be like, oh, shoot, we're super poor and
let's just get a credit card.
Yeah. And we drove junky cars. We rented crappy apartments. We shopped at thrift stores. We made it work.
Mm-hmm. So over time, we at least started having an income that was reliable, which was great. And as you probably know, teacher incomes aren't like rolling or anything. But to us, it felt like a ton of money because we'd been living for several years on such a limited budget. And so at that kind of turning point, really, we had to decide, are we going to rise to the level of our income and just start buying whatever looks good at the time? Or are we going to continue to set big goals for our future? And I think there always is some like rising of spending, but we, I think, did a really good job of setting future goals and earmarking money for those goals. So I think the biggest takeaway just from this part is we were patient and prioritized what we wanted our futures to look like. And so then kind of the next step in our journey was our first time having any debt, and that was when we built our house. And you'll find that mortgage debt is also debt. Like, you don't necessarily want it if you can avoid it, but it's kind of under a different category because it's debt in an investment.
Up until that point, we had zero debt. We paid off every credit card, every phone bill right when it came, even if that meant that we didn't get to eat out for that month or we were eating beans and rice. We had any cars that we bought, we paid for in cash. And so we saved up to the point where we could pay for it in cash. And we were very, very intentional about that. And I think one of the things that gets so lost in culture today is delayed gratification. And that sometimes we give up what we want most because of what we want right now. And so that now screaming in our face of the temptations to buy or spend or to raise your level of living, we really resisted that together.
In 2012, we built a house, and we're in it right now. And we love it, and we're so, so thankful for it. And we took out our first debt ever. And like I said, real estate debt is slightly different than other debt, but what we realized is that it is still debt, and we are still paying interest to a bank. And that money,
and it's not ours. We don't own the house,
right?
Until we own
it. And so that realization of, number one, we don't own it. We could lose our house if something went wrong.
And we saw that. We saw that in 2008, and it was devastating to see with so many people across the country that had homes repossessed and homes foreclosed on. And
yeah, and then also I did the nerd thing and calculated how much are we actually going to pay in interest above what our house actually costs, and it kind of freaked me out.
Yeah.
And so
it freaked us both out.
Yes, and we'll show you that math in a minute, but it really motivated us to say, okay, we have a 15-year mortgage, but how fast can we actually pay this thing off? If we keep our nose to the grindstone, keep being frugal, keep being scrappy and earning money in other places, how fast can we pay our house off? And I'm super stoked to tell you that in January, after 6 years and 1 month of living in our house, we paid it off. So
we're debt free.
Yeah.
Woo!
So we now own this house free and clear, and it feels amazing.
It feels so good. And like Megan said, it took a lot of intentionality and a lot of work and a lot of scrappiness. Mm-hmm. But yeah, we paid off almost $250,000 in debt in 6 years. And we're going to give you some tips. We actually have 5 tips for how to not be stupid with money. Things that we did, things that we got, advice from other people, and even programs like Dave Ramsey. Thank you, Dave Ramsey. You're probably not watching this, but maybe you are. Dave Ramsey is a financial coach, and holy smokes, his program, Financial Peace University, rocked our entire way of looking at finances, and we really accredit a lot of our success to that program. If you've been through it, you know it. If you haven't, we have links down in the description to some of Dave's resources, because it's incredible and it's so super tangible. So if you're sitting here and you're like, I am stupid with money and I am doing all of these things wrong, that's a great resource for you.
Or even if you're not, like, I feel like we in general we're fairly smart with money, really, but when we got on that program and got some tangible steps, we got even better.
Yeah.
First tip that we would say is to have an emergency fund. Have some money set aside that you do not touch unless it's an emergency, because otherwise an emergency will send you into debt.
Yep.
If your car breaks down, if your refrigerator breaks, whatever, those things are the worst to spend money on, but they're essential. And so having an emergency fund to cover those things is so important so that it doesn't force you to go into debt.
And that'll look different whether you're 12 or whether you're 30 or whether you're 60. Your emergency fund will need to grow as your expenses grow. The second tip that we have for you guys in how to not be stupid with money is run from debt. Run. Run away. Our country is steeped in debt. We have over $4 trillion in consumer debt alone. That's made up of credit card debt, average person, $6,000 to $10,000. That's made up of auto debt, average person, $20,000 to $28,000. That's made up of student loan debt. Hello, college students, $47,000 on average. And it's made up of mortgage debt, $187,000 on average. We are steeped in debt. We are shackled by debt. So run from debt.
And debt will steal your future. For our example of our house, our home cost, we had a loan for $237,000, and we had a great interest rate, 3% over 15 years. But if we had just paid it on time like normal, we would have ended up paying $57,000 just in interest. And so debt steals your future, because that's then $57,000 that we can invest in retirement, we can invest in our children's college funds, etc. And a lot of people might say to this video, this is way too conservative and crazy, like you can use debt to your advantage, blah, blah, blah. And I would just say, don't knock it till you've tried it, because if you become debt free and you hate it, you can actually get back into debt really easily.
Yeah. We actually are those crazy people. We just canceled the last 2 credit cards that we had. We use cash to buy everything, or a debit card. And here's the reason why. They have found that when you pay with credit card, you will spend 46% more than somebody who pays with cash. It actually triggers the pain centers in your brain when you hand over cash. And so you actually think about the purchase. I mean, think about the way that we can just buy with our phones now. We can, one touch on Amazon, and we have things showing up at our doorstep. It's so easy to buy. We don't even have to think about it. And so we actually spend way more. So I wanted to save these. There's your inactive, but I wanted to just do this right here on the video, just for y'all. Just a couple extra cuts, just because it feels so good when you can be when you can be debt-free and start winning, start making your money work for you.
So how do you do that? Our third tip is to make a budget and to stick to it. And a lot of people think, oh, a budget's gonna limit me. I won't be able to do anything that's fun or get the things that I want. But that's actually the opposite of true. A budget gives you permission to spend on the things that you care about, instead of just having your money frit away where you don't really know where it went, but then you don't have the money for the things that you want.
You either tell your money where to go, aka budget, or you ask where it went. How many of us have looked at our credit card statement at the end of the month? Not us anymore. But at the end of the month and been like, how did I spend $1,000? Or how did I spend $300? Where did it all go? Coffee, eating out, right? It adds up. We either tell it where to go, or we ask, where did all the money go?
Yeah, and you don't have to be a nerd with Excel or anything to do it. There's an awesome app that we use called the Every Dollar app, and it's free. And it helps you to take how much money do you have, and it helps you to divvy it out into your different categories each month or every 2 weeks or whatever.
Fourth step, delay gratification. Yes, you need to tell yourself no. You need to tell yourself no.
Or your kids.
Or your children. Tell them no. Tell them no. Because it's important for you to prioritize what are the things that are really important to you, and save the money to get it. Our culture is the opposite. If I want it, what's Ariana's new song? I see it, I like it, I want it, I got it, right? Is that how it goes?
Yeah, I think so.
I see it, I like it, I want it. Right? That's like that is America right there. Thank you, Ariana, for that terrible song, right? Instead, it should be, I want it, I wait, I budget, I bought it, I own it, right? Instead of just swiping and collecting things because we think we need them.
And then lastly, we would just really encourage you to be generous and give.
People ask us, how are you able to do this? How are you able to be debt-free at 33? How are you?
I'm 34.
I'm 33. And it sounds good, debt-free, 33. Anyway, we'll just roll with it. Because we're generous. We give crazily, we give hilariously, and it's such an honor to give and to see opportunities and to adopt families and children in other countries and be able to give money away as we've been given so generously. And I've heard it spoken that we can live life with an open hand where we can receive and we can give, or we can clench tightly to what we have, and it's very hard to give to a clenched fist. The Bible teaches that the world of the greedy gets smaller and smaller, and the world of the generous gets larger and richer. And we have found that so much in our own lives, and I can't wait to get more money so we can be more generous and to find new ways to give.
And even if that doesn't mean giving money, like when we were in our really tightened down budget, we prioritized giving to our church, but we also wanted to be generous to people in our lives. And so one way we could do that was like having people over for dinner or helping them when they're having a struggle in their life. Like, you can be generous with your time as well. And
even just this YouTube channel, and even right now, like, we're giving time to you guys. I mean, she's having contractions like off and on. Like, we're giving to you guys because because it's such a joy to give. We're not expecting to get anything back. We'll probably make like $3 on this video on YouTube, right? We're not expecting to get anything back, but we love being generous and we love giving, and it's the joy of our life. That's the secret sauce right there. Give. Be generous and watch and see as you're able to handle more money. So we really want you guys to have the best possible future for yourself. There are resources down below that we've utilized that have worked for us. None of these are paid sponsorships or anything. It just works. This is stuff that works. We always love hearing from you guys down in the comments, and we take your suggestions seriously. And if you want to hear another finance video, we'd love to make one. Just tell us what you want. We're here for you guys. We love you guys. And go take your life back. Take your money back. Start making choices today that are going to benefit your future tomorrow.
See ya.
We'll see you. Probably the next time we'll see you, we'll be a family of 4. 2 little boys.
2 parents.
And us.
1-on-1.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Here we go. Pray for us. We need your prayers. See ya. Nope. Garbage. Budget, y'all. Budget.